episode may contain loose forms of nudity, caveman, growling aggressively, and words not meant for the ears of young children. Viewer discretion is advised. This is a production of the Must See TV Broadcast Network. Like, share, and come along for the ride. Join the tribe. And if you're watching us right now on YouTube, then you already know what to do, don't you? Smash that subscribe button. The caveman won't bite, not really. And if you are ready, and if the caveman is ready, then let's kick this show off. Growl, growl.
Caveman's call echoes through the stream. Click that button, join the dream. 45 days, we're live on cue, reviewing the wild, the weird, the new. Must see TV, it's a vibe. Click subscribe and join the tribe. Laughs and chaos, we've got it all. One big crew answering the call. After shows where stories unfold, hidden gems and secrets told. Crew's got jokes and little flair. Once you're here, you're staying there. Must see TV, it's the vibe. Click subscribe and join the tribe. Laughs and chaos, we've got it all. One big crew answering the call. From caveman grunts to streaming gold, new adventure, stories bold. Every moment, every beat, grab your spot. Front row seat. Must see TV, it's the vibe. Click subscribe and join the tribe. Laughs and chaos, we've got it all. One big crew answering the call. Must see TV, it's the vibe. Click subscribe and join the tribe. Laughs and chaos, we've got it all. One big crew answering the call.
All right, is everybody ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right, okay. Pebbles, are you ready?
That was weird.
All right.
I am ready.
All right. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the penultimate episode of The Page Redemption. We got a full studio. We got a full crew, semi-full crew. We got Pebbles in the studio.
Hey, everybody, all you fellow book lovers.
And the not the co-host, but the lead showrunner of this show. She is the beautiful, the talented, the magnificent, the wonderful, the lady of lore, the mistress of myth herself, LB Lily Bowman. How's it going, LB?
The Lady of Lore. I like that one. Okay. Go off. For anyone I'm flustered. Wow, that was great. That was a wonderful intro. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Boom. Great. So we're taking a look at Salt Bones. Yes. So why don't you kick everything off with the backstory, and then we'll get actual to opening thoughts, and then the review proper.
Absolutely. So, okay. Salt Bones by Jennifer Given We'll get into a little bio of her, and then we'll kick it off.
Yeah.
So, she was born near Salton Sea in Southern California, and okay, I got lots of notes. She's done lots. But she was born in 1984. She currently lives in Albuquerque with her 2 kids in New Mexico. I did not find anything about pets, unfortunately.
Damn it.
I won't keep you on the hook for the information about pets. I couldn't find it. Sadly, I think there are none. That's okay. So she identifies with a borderline identity, or that's at least what's in her bio, and I thought that was just like a really wonderful way of saying that.
Yeah.
But she is an indigenous Mexican writer. She's from the Tigua of Ysleta del Sur, which is the Salton Sea, and the Huichol of Mirite. We're gonna skip right over me absolutely butchering everything that I pronounce. So she has a Master of Arts from Warren Wilson College and also a Master of Fine Arts from the California State University in English Literature and Creative Writing. She mentors writers. She does a heck of a lot of writing. She's got a lot of poetry, a lot of essays, a lot of she's been a staff writer on journals. She is a writer. So she's got collections of poems from 2017 all the way through to, when was her last collection of poems published? 2022. And she has 5 novels out right now. Salt Bones is the last of which was actually published this year.
Oh.
Her first novel, Trinity Sight, was published in 2019, and her first collection of poetry came out in 2017, which was called Protection Spell.
Ooh.
A lot of her titles are really cool, so I'm just gonna rattle off a couple of titles just because I love poetry. She's a poet. We're doing it. So in order of publication, we have Landscape with a Headless Mama, Protection Spell, Girl with the Death Mask.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Right. The Daughter's Curse.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Einstein, River Woman, River Demon.
Ooh.
And the alliteration, it's beautiful. Anyway, those are just some of her books. I'm not going to continue reading off literally every single thing that she's written. Awards. She has won multiple fellowships, and oh my God, I can't read my writing. She's won multiple fellowships and prizes for her poetry, as well as top lists and finalists in awards as well. Cool. That was everything about Jennifer Given.
All the things.
We are going to dive into Salt Bones. I've just talked a whole heck of a lot. What was your first impressions of the book? What were your first thoughts getting into this?
I was excited because you mentioned Spanish. And I know that the Greek culture and the Spanish culture are somewhat similar in a lot of aspects. Family, familia, stuff like that. So I was excited to get into it. It was like big fat Greek wedding in a book, but in another culture. That kind of aspect. It was really intriguing to me, and I've always wanted to do stuff obviously we've done books that were Spanish influenced before, but diving into a book that just specifically Spanish was really appealing to me. I was excited. So what were your first opening thoughts?
Well, okay, so I mean, reading the blurbs and all this sort of stuff, I freaking love the myths of Persephone, Demeter, Hades, etc.
Yeah.
That's a niche topic that I freaking love.
Yeah.
So when I read the blurb for this and I saw that, you know, we'd be diving into like Mexican and indigenous like mythologies, I was super excited because I also know that like there's certain things that I'm super interested in, and then there's certain things that I've spent a lot of time actually looking into, right? So
Right.
I don't have an awful lot of knowledge in this area, and
Yes.
I was really excited to get into the book that had that aspect of it, as well as like I did sort of a brief look up, and I saw that the author was a poet and like a prolific poet. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I feel like this is going to be good, because I always think that, you know, it's the wordsmithing of it all,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
I was excited to get into this. And those were my first thoughts.
All right.
I was really excited.
So my first positive, it's just the world feels very lived in to me, and I love that. I love that this world just felt like really, really lived in. Right? It's you can physically go to this place and see all these things happening in your mind's eye. Right? This is really down to earth. This is really a gritty world. It's a gritty town, and you know, I sympathize with the town and where it was. No, that's probably a wrong word, but I feel because like I come from a similar. My family, my lineage comes from a small town in Greece that's like this. Right? Everyone knows everybody. Your mother knows your mother knows the prostitute down the street. The prostitute knows your dad. Your dad knows the family that just moved in. You know, all the doors are open. You can come on inside anytime you want. You can sit down with strangers and eat food with them, break bread. And that aspect I really liked. I really enjoyed the town, and I really enjoyed the world building and the town itself. So that would be my first kind of positive.
And for our viewers
Absolutely.
that may be a little bit unfamiliar with the story of Saltbones takes place in El Vale, a small, dusty, deteriorating town near the
Yeah.
Salton Sea on the U.S.-Mexico border. In the Salton Sea itself, it is experiencing an environmental crisis, and as well as it's described fully as a small town where a lot of people never left.
Yeah.
And that's just for our viewers who might be unfamiliar with the story.
Yeah. So that would be, thank you, Pebbles. That would be
No
my
problem.
first kind of check mark. What's your first check mark?
I mean, so, okay, literally, as you were saying about, like, it felt like it felt, so it's not my absolute first check mark that I have in here, but I am going to bounce off of that, because I have in here that the setting felt honest.
Yes.
You know? Like, it just, and after reading up on, like, a couple of her articles on, like, how she's talking about writing, she very much is within that space of like, write what you know, like, right? Like, and it comes out very real. And it feels like it's a space. Like it feels like I can touch it
Right.
when I'm
Yes.
reading.
Yeah.
Like when, you know, like whenever I was delving into this story, it felt so real.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
characters felt real. The characters were flawed in all the many wondered ways of people.
Yeah.
And like the town itself, I think the town itself, I mean, like, if you want to be cliche about it, you could say like the town itself was a character. But like
Yeah, the
it
honesty
really
of
felt
everybody. Yeah,
real and
yeah.
honest, and you could just live in it. I
Yeah.
completely agree with you there. I don't want to steal your first check mark, but like, yes, absolutely 100% there with you. What's your next check mark? And then I swear I won't bounce off, but I was like so in that with you for sure.
The people. I'm just going to bounce off what you were saying. The honesty
Yeah.
of this world. and just like the people felt so real to me. It felt when the arguments happened, when all this stuff happened, when we meet the family for the first time, they just felt so. They felt so real, and it felt like you can replace them with like a Greek family or a Russian or a Slavic family, and it would be the same thing because we have all those sensibilities tied up with each other. That kind of family vibe, that arguing like back and forth, like you're kind of screwed up in a way. You're not no special from any one family. You know, you may in appearance you may there's this nice little happy family, but behind the scenes, it's utter chaos. Your mother's abusing you. And that's what happens in Greece. You can see a family, you're like, oh, they look perfect, but behind the scenes, it's fucking chaos. And I love the honesty of that. I love it. Like there's this, there's people that are drinking all the time. There's people that just going for booty calls to get away from everyday life. It just the people just so bloody honest. They're written in a real way, and I really appreciate that as a Greek caveman. I really do. So that's bouncing off your check mark, bouncing off my check mark. So what's your next check mark?
So my next and my absolute first one, because I wrote this probably like 30 minutes after finishing the book, maybe a couple of hours. The twist. Now, okay, I'm not gonna, this show does spoilers.
Well, you can say the spoilers.
I know, but before we do the spoilers,
okay,
I like to remind people, the show does spoilers.
How about we do this? How about we
if you're not aware
Before
already.
our spoilers,
Let's
just
do
for
a force handing wavy thing. So when I do this, just mute, and when I do this again, you can unmute. Okay, force handing wavy thingy, activate.
for our viewers.
Okay. Let's. No, LB is gonna spoil it. What's the spoiler? What? Come on.
Oh my god, the twist!
Yeah, the twist.
Okay. Everyone thought it was going to be the Callahans, and it kind of was. But also the fact that, the fact that it was the father in a fit of rage, and it's none of it was intentional, and basically everything that's happening is just covering shit up, it's insidious in a different way. Literally, I was reading this and I was like, it's gonna be that they're hunting people. It's gonna be that they're fucking taking girls and they're hunting them, and it's gonna be a serial killer motherfucking thing. That's where my brain was. I was like, no, figured it out. But the fact that, and how it came out too, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was literally, I was reading the uncovering part where Amaranta finds the earrings and then Harlan shows up. I was reading that.
Yeah.
As the ticket warden on my train was coming around trying to check tickets. I have no idea how long he was stood there asking me for my freaking ticket.
Yeah.
I had my little noise canceling things in, and I was just completely zoned in.
Yeah.
But it from someone who does that with books, and I'm sure you do that with books too, and with movies and all of it, you're like, yeah, this is the guy that did it, and half an hour later you're like, and I was right. For someone who does that all the time and doesn't mind it also in books, when you figure it out, that's totally fine. I think that's okay to take a person on a journey like that. But the way that it was uncovered, and the betrayal, and just this collection of essentially men going to where these the mother and daughter finally met up, and you've got all of these people and you're like, who the fuck can I trust out of this? It's all coming out right here. Oh, it was so beautifully done.
Yeah.
So beautifully done.
I agree.
in a way that a twist can be reread again, I would
Right.
think.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
I just like completely blurted out so much word vomit. Please add on.
I agree and don't agree with that. I agree with the twist that it was really, really good. I mean, I didn't pick that up. I didn't pick that up at all. And for me, for writers that, like, oh, it's this,
Yeah.
and it's like coming out like, what? It was really, really good. I have some things to say in my negatives, but that was a really good eye-opening thing. And I agree with you, and so I'm just going to add that on my check mark as well, because I did
Yeah.
like that, like, twist. All right.
100%.
So, Force
What's your-
Henny Wavy thingy, activate a gun.
Yeah.
Okay, you can
I
come
got
back.
so carried away with talking about it that I completely forgot about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Fantastic addition. I like this.
So, my last check mark.
Okay.
My last check mark. Well, I had a lot of check marks. Ooh. Don't you ooh me. LB, don't you ooh me. I like the just the writing. I thought it was really, really great. It was unapologetically Spanish. And I love it. I just, it was so unapologetically, it doesn't apologize for it. That's probably my biggest check mark of everything we talked about here. It's just, it's Spanish pure and simply, and it's telling a Spanish story inside a Spanish town. And I love it. I absolutely loved it. So that's my last, but biggest check mark.
I love that. Yeah, no, I will definitely touch on this. I've got like, okay, I can put it into 2 check marks.
Okay.
I've got 2 check marks.
All right.
So the first one is a quick note, not really a quick note, but like and I feel like you're not going to agree with me on this, but that's okay. The split perspective in the book.
I like that. I liked it.
Okay, because sometimes I know sometimes it can take you out, and like sometimes it's just not, it doesn't sit the same with you as it does with me. Totally,
Yeah.
you know. And also, I know with narration that can be a huge thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, I thought how the split perspective was brought in.
It was like a
A
handoff.
lot of books.
It was an organic
Yeah.
handoff.
It felt organic. It answered questions. I thought pretty well in like, sorry, what am I trying to say here? The way that those handoffs happened,
Yes.
it wasn't like, okay, next chapter, this is this person's
Yeah.
perspective. Next chapter, this person's. It wove into one another really well. The fact that we didn't see Amaranta's perspective
Yes.
for a while, as she was lost, and then it kicked in, that was a great use of that.
Yes.
And even going back to the very beginning of the book, we've got this prologue of a woman running away, trying to escape someone in the desert.
Yeah.
And just we don't get much other, like we get context, but we don't really know who it is.
Yeah.
Up until basically until we've met up with that scene.
Right.
And I thought that was really well done. I
Yeah,
thought that
I
was
did
like,
too. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that split perspective, check mark in my book. My last check mark that I'll have here, and it's a doozy. Just taking a sip of water. My apologies. So the development of Lasingwa, I don't know how to say her name, but our horse-headed woman.
Right.
the development of that character
Yeah.
throughout the novel,
Yeah.
and also how mythology intersected with the book in and of itself.
Yes.
Because I think
yes.
in a lot of like modern myth sort of thriller mystery type things, we take the mythology and we just pluck it in and we add that as our big bad, and then that's sort of like how the story goes. But
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really cool how like the way that superstition and belief within the characters and the plot,
Yeah.
and then also how it like we have this character who's not really who's a huge character in it, but also not an actual character in it.
Yeah.
That's interacting in the plot
Yeah.
just enough,
Right.
I'd say.
Yes.
You know, because the story itself, if you take that mythological aspect out of it, the progression of events still goes the same.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes.
You know, this is a real happening that we're looking in on. This is the story that's going in. But this aspect of the horse-headed woman, and also like all the other mythologies that are referenced within it, how that shapes people's beliefs and like and how like how it helps the story along, but also like I thought it was just really well done. Like I
Right,
don't
yeah.
I don't really know how to express it all the way, but just that intersection there, that it like played out as its own thing,
Right. Yes.
really well done. I thought that was beautiful. I thought we saw just enough
Yes.
of our like mythic horror, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that was a huge check mark for me, because that's what I was looking for in the book, you know? Not
Yes.
necessarily how it was done, but that's what I was excited for in this story, and I think it was so well done.
Oh.
There's not just a magical myth god
Yeah.
in it. It really felt real in that sense as well.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
And-
You reminded me of another check mark I had. You
of course
reminded me.
I did.
I do also have the name and the pronunciation on standby here.
Okay.
So LB, just yeah. So if we want to do this together, it's La Siguanaba.
Lax.
So La Siguanaba.
I'm not gonna. I'm not.
La Siguanaba.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I looked that up for you. Anyways, your next check.
So
From a whole level on a fact that I have so little time. Thank you.
No problem. And Caveman, your next check mark.
So my last check mark is the representation of sexuality in the book. I thought it was really
Yeah.
great. You have like lesbian, you have straight, you have hetero, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was well represented in the book, because in Greek cultures, love is love no matter what form it takes. And this is what parallels Greek society in many cultures. Like, you could say that it was Slavic, with Russian to an extent, and all these different cultures have the same kind of beliefs. Like, love is love, no matter if it's straight, gay, hetero, whatever. And I like that representation in the book. One of the daughters is gay, and I thought that was great. That was a relationship is with, I believe, Iggy, and it was beautiful. It was really nice to see, and I like that kind of representation, an organic representation
Yeah.
in the book. It wasn't forced. It wasn't thrown in there. It wasn't. It was just well nuanced, well told. It was very organic. And I appreciate that in the book. So that's my last check mark.
Yeah, 100%. I feel you there. I mean, I think that goes back to what we were saying about real people, right?
Right.
She doesn't present a character and that's their only character trait is being gay, is the relationship that they have, you know? Like,
Yes.
and I think like that adds to it, right? Because
Right.
people from all walks of life exist in this town. And she represents that on a real level. So I agree with you there.
All right.
So unfortunately, it's time to get into our exes. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay.
This book is really great. It's really great to read. It's really great to listen to. However, there is a moment in the book, and I believe it was somewhere in chapter 7, where one of the girls take their dad to the sea, and he was telling a story about school. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to repeat the line. I'm not going to do it just because that's not what we do here. I had a big problem with it because if you're trying to do this book justice and make allegories in a beautiful way and all this kind of stuff, and you just slip on one thing and not take the time to go back and like, look, I'm doing what I can to make this an honest telling of Spanish culture and Native American and all this kind of stuff. And it doesn't happen well. It's just one word and that's it. And you slip. I think that's a problem because you've done such a great job representing all these different aspects of cultures in the book to just slip like that. I found for me was very problematic. And
Okay.
that's it's not a big X, but I feel like if I didn't say it, this is what this show's about, right? So I just had to.
Yeah.
That's my first X. It doesn't happen a lot in the book. It maybe happens 1, 2, 3 lines, but the fact that it happens at all after you took the time to make a honest world, to tell the story honestly, and just say a generic word like what you did in the book, it's just, for me, no. So that's for me, it's an X.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I do not really know what you're talking about.
All right,
That
okay.
doesn't necessarily, you know what I mean? You don't
Right.
need to define that so wholly.
Yeah.
I did find, there's definitely abrasive language in it.
Right. Right.
And I think that's perfectly valid to bring that up as an X.
Yeah.
Because we do that, right?
Right.
We want to make sure that
yeah.
we're not
It's a small
not
thing.
just glossing over certain things and not mentioning them.
It's a small thing. I don't want to reference it here because that's not what we do here, and
That's okay.
I don't want to go down that road because it's not like what this network's all about, but it does happen, and I just wanted to mention it.
And-
Yeah.
And for our viewers who may be a bit curious, this story is told just from multiple perspectives,
Yeah.
so it does exist in some of the perspectives. It is not necessarily a whole on the perspective, but it may relate down to one character's perspective.
I'll let Pebbles know after we're done shooting. So that's my first X. What's your first X, LB?
So I found this book difficult to get into at first. And I think part of that for me was, I knew this was going to be sort of scary. And it starts off there's a lot of challenging subject matter that's in here. Even down to, and this is very light, but even down to the fact that we get introduced to our main character, I could say, or one of our main characters, Mal, and she's carving up carcasses.
Yes.
And there's lots of
There's a lot of blood and gore.
A lot of trauma.
Exactly. So for me reading this, you know me, I do big reading on the train,
Right.
and before bed.
Right. Oh
And
no.
just
God.
pre
Oh, gosh.
but who has free time these days? So, like, I don't want to read this right before bed.
Yes.
Like, my bed currently probably has, I think, 4 books floating around in it, and this is not one of the ones that made it there.
Right.
You know? So I think from that aspect, but also right from the get-go, and this is a halfway X, I will say. And I mentioned that I would come back to this. Right from the get-go, we are dropped right into the middle of a, like, big Mexican community that uses English and Spanish and
Right.
all the in-betweens of it. And you're dropped right in the middle of it when honestly, that kind of feels like walking into someone's kitchen.
Yeah.
And everything is going on. And this is a big, it's
Yeah.
a Mexican family that just surrounded you. And
Yeah.
it's overwhelming.
Right.
I don't necessarily think in a bad way, but it did make it so that when I was
Yeah.
trying to get into the book, it was meaty to start
Yes.
into. I think once you're into it, you're like, okay, cool. This is the world that we're living in.
Yeah.
We're totally cool.
Yeah.
But I think right away it was an assault on the senses.
Yeah, if you're not if you're not familiar
you know?
with that, yeah, it could be quite jarring. If you're not if you don't come from that kind of background, then you're probably in
Right.
this book and you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on?
So here's the thing, right? I'm an only child.
Yeah, yeah.
And I spend most of my time alone.
Yes.
Same, Albie. Same.
When you enter into spaces like that, I thought, because, okay, so I was like thinking
I have
about
8
how
billion
to talk
cousins,
about
LB.
that.
8 billion
Exactly.
cousins.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a caveman.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think, like, and that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for
Yeah.
me, it was a challenge to get into, but I loved the story, and I kind of loved that aspect of it. But that was like, see, this is why I'm saying it's kind of like an X and a check mark, right? Because it's like, okay, I want real, accurate representation of a community. There you go.
Right. Yes.
Right? Like, you can't complain about the thing that you want to be reading about
Yes.
in a book.
Yes.
But that's why I'm like, okay, light X, but the X is that it was difficult to start into.
Right.
So I will stop rambling. That is my first X. What is your next X?
So I don't have a lot of more X's.
Okay.
This is my penultimate last X. And maybe it'll be my last X. Who knows? This book is in love with itself too much. Like,
Okay.
way, way too much.
How do you mean? What do you mean by that?
It's all about like the wordplay and then who we get to know, and it's chapter. I mean, this book doesn't get really going until chapter 12 or chapter I believe 12 or 13, and it's some pages it just goes on and on and on. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, right? The narration is beautiful, but it's just all right. We should probably move on. And it doesn't. It just keeps going, and you're like, okay, okay, oh, okay, oh, okay, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, this is okay. Please move on.
Yeah.
Like, this is a 12-hour book. This is only a 12-hour book. And it
doesn't, like, when you think back to it, it doesn't feel like 12 hours.
It feels longer.
It does.
It feels
which
like...
is, I mean, I think that's probably a good problem to have in terms of, like, looking back on a book rather than, like, you looking at it being like, that was... Like the shortest thing ever, but like nothing happened of substance, Anyway, sorry,
but we
I'm
didn't
jumping
go.
into the point.
I mean, the main plot doesn't go until we don't hear about the second girl until chapter 4 or 5, and it's
we don't kick right off.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's fine to jump us right into the deep end, but the purpose of what you're doing is so you can move the story along and have us organically discover this world with you. And if you're
Yeah.
doing that, right, if you're the main purpose is like, okay, I'm just gonna, people that have big families or part of Greek culture or Spanish culture, or any of these cultures are gonna understand this, and people that don't, I'm just gonna trust them, which is what you
Yes.
should do to join the ride. And you got
Yeah.
me. You got me joining the ride. And you probably got a lot of people to join the ride with you. There's no need to slow down. But that's exactly what you did. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you did. And at one point, I'm like, okay, is this, is anything going to happen? Because I'm like, what's the plot of this book? Like,
Yeah.
is this ever going to, like, the party really doesn't happen until chapter 8. It's like, what are we doing? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's,
And how many chapters does this book have?
I think 15, 16? 17,
No, it has way more than
20?
Here, I'll double fact check that.
it has 35 plus an epilogue and a prologue.
Oh, 35 chapters. So my mistake.
Yeah.
35 chapters.
So what you're saying, Caveman, really does ring true. It takes
Yeah.
a little bit long to get started.
It's a simple story. It's a simple story. It's a Spanish town where, like I said, I think I said my piece there, but the whole purpose of you starting the book off like that is to, like, throw people in the deep water. And it feels like you just said, okay, let's go back to the shallow end. And then go back to the deep end.
Yeah.
And, I just disagree 110% with that.
Fair enough.
And that's my penultimate last X.
And if you're
Yeah. I'm going to jump off that because honestly, I don't really have many X's. Like, there's one other that I can think of, to be completely honest, and it's also not a very massively strong X. So, jumping off of what you said, I think that's probably part of the reason why I had a hard time sticking
Yeah.
my teeth into this in probably the first half of the book. Although, also jumping off of that, I can see how it's sort of like, I mean, like, you can argue for a little bit of juxtaposition with, like, dousing you with
Yeah.
this story right from the get-go. We've got, we have all of it right in the first 2 chapters.
Yes.
And then having that, like, settling period of a little bit of, like, this is the, not perfect, but not calm.
Right.
But, this is the life that this story is intruding upon.
Yes.
I think that's, especially too, if someone like me jumps right into this and you're like, whoo, okay, everything is happening. Cool. That's fine. Let's breathe for a second, figure out who everyone is and what's going on, and then jump into it. But I think maybe that did extend further than it needed to.
Right.
So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that X. I guess. Do you want to have your last X, or would you like me to go on mine?
Things are, so my last X. This book maybe should have had one more pass in certain places. There are things that are brought up and never brought up again.
Yes.
There are things, violent things that happen, and
Yeah.
it's just there for the sake of being violent. And
Yeah.
as a Greek person, as someone has Greek descent, who knows a little bit about family life in Greece and stuff like that, I don't like reading about it. That's just me. And also, there's other things that never get brought up. Like, the girl barges into their cousin's room, and they're doing this
Yeah.
kind of blood ritual,
Yeah.
and it's never kind of brought up.
Yeah.
We have the first when the mother's in a wheelchair and the daughter's doing dishes, and we have that interaction. I'm sorry, I don't like reading about it. Like, if I get what you're trying to do, I get what you're trying to say, but you can do that with expositions, not by just like doing that. I don't like reading about it unless it has a narrative purpose. It obviously did, but I feel like that could have been handled more delicately.
Okay.
And that's just me. So that's my final X.
So I swear this X is not jumping off of that, but the reason why I was agreeing so fervently when you were mentioning the twins and their bloodletting ceremony, amongst other things, I don't. So okay, I don't necessarily agree with like I don't want to see it in my book. Which is like, just because we're having such an honest representation of
Yes.
characters in here, it's very clearly a story that's going to have different traumas going on.
Right, yes.
You know?
Yeah. That's fair.
so,
That's
like-
fair.
Right? I think letting that air is important in a way. Like it's kind of better than putting it behind a closed door and not letting people read
Yeah.
that and see, because some people don't have experience within those sorts of environments. Not that writers owe that, you know, but I think if they put that there, I think, you know, it's good to honor it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there were, I think the things that bothered me about that was, I mean, again, yeah, not really plot building, but also, like, it's okay if it's just sort of like flushing out the world and
Yeah.
the characters and stuff. I think parts of it were kind of obviously red herrings. Like,
Right.
because this is really, if you market it as a crime thriller, you
Right.
can,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So that's a big thing for me. Like, I don't read a lot of thrillers. I don't read a lot of like crime books. I
Yes.
do read some though. And that is one of the pet peeves that I have in those books, is when there's intentional red herrings. I can understand if it's like, okay, cool, we're adding this in to give the reader intrigue and that sort of stuff, and it's flushing out characters, et cetera, et cetera. But there were some things that were just like, okay, but why the fuck?
Yeah,
Did that
that's-
happen? Does it,
that's the thing
it's
with
like,
me,
okay,
like-
we were fully believing that the twins were like summoning La Singua.
Singua.
Oh, help me again.
Why am I laughing? Siguanaba.
Seguanaba.
Siguanaba.
Siguanaba.
Seguanaba.
La Siguanaba.
La Seguanaba.
Summoning Siguanaba. Fully, right? Like, you're supposed to believe that
Yeah.
in a way. And it's just like, and it like adds in, it's a whole aspect of like why they haven't found Amaranta yet, because they're going and pursuing this lead. And it's just, but it leads to nothing.
Yeah.
It
And,
leads
like,
to multiple
you know,
perspectives and
like,
makes you
what?
question.
But that's no, it's doesn't do anything. It's like I knew it was a red herring the moment that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
They're
that's
okay,
the
this
thing.
is very obvious. If it's not this, it's this. Like, it's sort of like they're trying to make you figure out the story as you go along.
It's just
And just
off-putting.
throwing that in there to be like, consider this.
If I
And
can
it's
just throw an idea out there, is this a nod at the Mexican culture? Because they're very
it's-
superstitious. So obviously they might jump to the La Siguanaba before the
Yeah, but
actual-
it serves nothing. It's there. It's like, okay, she's going into bloodletting. They cut her, and then it's quite obviously a red herring. It's and here's the thing: the reason why you know it's such an obvious red herring is because the book is written in a way that's so beautiful and intentional that you're like, okay, well, this is a red herring, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's like, again, it's not a huge X for me personally, because I think the rest of the book is written so well that it's like, okay, cool, we'll have our red herrings in
Right.
there. We'll have those aspects of it in there. We'll have a full community in there. But there was some things alongside, not just that specific
Right.
moment. But I think also there, like, yeah, like another pass might have been good just to clear up some of those bits,
Right.
But not even just that. Like, I found sometimes when we're having some exposition or there was some stuff going on, it wasn't fully clear
Right.
exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
Like, when I got explained what happened to Elena, I was like, wait, what? Like, who shot who? And then he's there, and then that's what is going on?
Right.
Maybe intentional, probably. I could make an argument for that. But I thought there was just, like, it could have had a couple of things just sort of tweaked just to give it that clarity and to give it that space,
Right.
There was some small irritations within it as I was going along.
Right.
I'm not gonna blab more about that, though,
All right.
because that's my last X.
All right. I don't have any more X's too. I think I said everything I need to say. All right. So LB, the mistress of myth, the lady of lore. What do you say? Yay or nay? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
This is a big horse bony thumbs up from me. Big thumbs up from me. How about you? Is it a recommend or do not recommend?
So I am going to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to put an asterisk on it.
Okay.
If this is your first thriller novel,
Oh God.
don't pick this up. If this is your fifth thriller novel, pick this up. If you're unfamiliar with the Spanish language, I would probably do research before picking this up and get the lingo down of what's happening, because this is very unapologetically Spanish. Like I would say
Yeah.
98%. But overall, I give it a asterisk thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I will say, though, like, I don't speak a lot of Spanish. I speak some. Very,
Yeah.
very minimal. I will say it's the way that it's incorporated in the text and
Yes.
how, like, you're not left in the dust, There might be some moments where
Right.
you're like, I kind of know what they're saying, but I don't actually know what they're saying. And that's
Right.
okay. We move on.
Yes.
The way that there is translation as well for for important things that you might not
Yes.
actually catch.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well done, I think. So I don't think
Yeah.
necessarily if you're someone who, like, picks up on things quickly or
Right,
like
yes.
can sort
We
of
should
get
say
the
that
gist
too,
of it,
yeah.
I'd say, like, you don't need to worry about
Right.
buying a Spanish dictionary.
Well, I mean, for the like if you're not like familiar with the Spanish, like how
Yes.
things are spelt and everything, and you're not like fluent or somewhat fluent in Spanish, you may need a dictionary only because certain words will be spelled out quite differently, and if you're not accustomed to that, you may need some help. So that's why
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we close the page now, and next month, the last episode of the Page Redemption, we are taking a look at
Minimum Wage Magic by Rachel Aaron.
Minimum Wage Magic. Ooh,
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm really excited for this because I think it kind of brings us, I don't want to say back to our roots, but like it's I have to read just a short blurb of the description
Okay,
for it
all right,
because
do
it
it.
sounds, it's short little thing. Oh, I did have it right on my page, and then it obviously
Get
went
it?
away.
The page? Get it? Get it? That's the ha
Give me
That's
2 hot
grinding.
seconds.
All right, I'll give you 3 seconds.
If you can't find it,
3 seconds? You're so generous.
I know. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
if you can't find it, I do have a summary up currently.
Oh, amazing. Honestly, it was like the 2 sentences right at the beginning of the summary that I wanted to read out. So if you've got that in front of you, go
I
ahead.
do. So here is our summary for our next book. You ready, Caveman?
All right, I'm ready.
You ready, LB?
I'm ready.
Okay, so minimum wage magic. Opal Young A is a Korean American mage working the most dangerous, low pay gig in the Detroit Free Zone, the DFZ. She's a cleaner, someone who clears out the apartments of those who have died without paying their magical and financial debts. Wherever she finds inside, she can legally keep. The DFZ is the most magical, chaotic, semi-sentient city in the world. It reshapes its streets, traps its people, rewards boldness, and punishes weakness. Opal lives paycheck to paycheck, scrambling to stay one step ahead of debt, literally. She has a massive loan with terrifying terms and only a short window to pay it off.
Exciting.
And that is our summary of minimum wage magic.
All right, so before we go, we have to do what we didn't do last time, and I want to apologize because we had a lot of growls to do, and then we just forgot about it. But you have to forgive us because, like for many months we didn't do it because Facebook had a bug, and now apparently the bug is fixed. So we're gonna do. So let's do some caveman growls.
We have 2 growls to give out today. One for Miss Wendy Hughes.
Miss Wendy Hughes. Wendy Hughes. I like that, Miss Wendy Hughes. From us to you, you got a big, bad, magical minimum wage. That's minimum wage.
And we also have a growl for Chris Acre.
Chris Acre. Buddy, I like that name. Oh.
So enthusiastic
Wait.
there.
Yeah, I like that name, Chris. I like that name. I like the cut of your jib, son. I like the cut of your jib. And from me to you, you got a great big bad caveman. So, guys, that will wrap it up for a brand new episode of The Page Redemption. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back with you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Final Countdown Top 10 Horror Movies. And we are down to the Sexy 6. Until then, take care, be safe, be well, and we love you all. $50 million plus, $50 million thousand plus. And may the Force be with you. Drone on true.
Bye, guys.
Bye.